Hello everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw, and in this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Scyther and Scizor so you can start dominating with them on day one if you pick them up. Let's start with Scyther. I mean, we're already Scyther right now. You start with the choice between Fury Cutter and Quick Attack for your moves. So Scyther works pretty similar to a lot of all-rounders, although I would say when you look at the two Pokemon, I think Scyther feels a lot more like an assassin and Scizor feels a lot more like a brawler. So you kind of have two different build options with this Pokemon. Your second move choice is Quick Attack, like I said before. Fury Cutter, you slash twice in front of you, dealing some damage and doing a little bit of a dash right there. It is a decent little pop of damage, good for securing, and it cannot hop over walls like this. However, Quick Attack, of course, can. So you do have two moves that give you mobility and one that lets you avoid obstacles. It doesn't appear that you have great critical hit early on. However, I think I have some critical hit items on this Pokemon, so I do get a few crits with this. I haven't noticed any of its moves critically hitting. So let's talk about some interesting things. Its passive is Technician, and what that does is when you use a move, your next basic attack hits twice. As you can see, I'm just hitting with my attacks here, and then if I use a move, my next basic does 2 slashes there. Move again, 2 slashes. So there's a little bit of a chaining your moves with something like that so that you can get those basic attacks to hit multiple times. Could be a really good use of your moves, is just to notice like, oh, I'm using Fury Cutter and then I get 2. I use Quick Attack and then I get 2. So just a cool little note there on its passive. Now let's take a look at your first big choice with this Pokemon, and that is when you're going to evolve. I ate my words pretty hard on that one. So you can evolve or not at level 5. You get to choose between Bullet Punch and Dual Wing Beat. Like I said, I'm going to stick with Scyther for the start of this video here. So we use Dual Wing Beat. We do not evolve into Scizor. Here we go. Dual Wing Beat, pretty cool move. You can cast it away from you anywhere inside this cone. It's not locked onto an enemy, so you can throw it right next to you if you want, or you can throw it further away. I'm going to go ahead and turn move cooldowns off just so this is a little easier to use. So you could throw it further away from you. You could throw it over walls. You could do some damage. If you hit something with it, you get another attack. You can see that there kind of counting down. It turns into a dash that you can use in any direction to do anything you want with. You can use it to hit an enemy and then run away. You can use it to hit an enemy and then get closer and engage. And like I said, when you use a move, next basic attack does double. Use your next move, next basic attack does double hits. So Dual Wing Beat combos pretty well with your passive here. Let's take a look at what Dual Wing Beat does. I'm going to use it on this substitute doll, and you're going to see it pretty quick. So the damage starts to increase because this does more damage to that 1500, 2000, 2900, 3700. This does more damage depending on how low the enemy's HP is. Like I said, Scyther feels a lot more like an assassin, so this is an assassination move. Dual Wing Beat is set up to get some big KOs. Your next move option is Double Hit or Swords Dance. You can pick either of them with either Scyther or Scizor. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to use Double Hit here. It looks like it's maybe the intended move combination for Scyther, and then for Scizor, I would say it's probably Swords Dance. However, I think Swords Dance is really good. You might end up using it on both versions of this Pokemon, but let's talk about Double Hit. Double Hit will dash you in a direction, so you have another dash. You bounce off of an enemy any direction you want, so you can kind of bounce and then bounce back, bounce up. You just have to control it a little bit like when Greninja throws its Unite move. It's not super easy to always go the direction you want, but I would say once you get the hang of it, you can start to set up some pretty cool stuff inside of an encounter there. So you bounce off them, and it's a little hard to notice because it's a substitute doll. Let's put a mark on Venusaur here. So you can see that mark on Venusaur's head right there. What that means is if I KO this Venusaur, I get my move cooldowns reset. So this is the way they have it set up that you can combo your moves super, super well. So if you hit them with Double Hit, again, your next attack would normally deal this 2 slashes. However, Double Hit actually gives you this wide range around you, and it gives you a big boosted attack that dashes. So you immediately kind of get this big attack and you dash into the enemy. It's pretty cool. So you can use this to, again, bounce off and run, and then of course dash towards someone else if you wanted to with your boosted, or you could use this to hit someone and then dash back into them for a big slash right there. Once they have the mark on their head, again, if they get KO'd, your move cooldowns reset. Basically what you could do with something like this is hit them with a double hit them with some big attacks, hit them with your dual wing beat, and if you get that big assassination, your dual wing beat comes right back as well as your double hit. Again, I have my move cooldowns turned off just so I can talk about this, but this is really cool because it sets up those moments where this Pokemon could possibly wipe an entire enemy team if you're able to combo super well. Alright, let's talk about the Unite move for Scyther. The Unite move for Scyther and Scizor are different, so both of them kind of work the same. They're targeted to an enemy, you dash onto them, and then you create these clones around you. With Scyther, if you dash again, the clones will follow you and deal damage. So you will dash, hit them, you can start hitting them from there, and then dash through them, and the clones kind of suck towards the direction you are. They hit the enemy, and they deal extra damage. Also, if any enemy is around these clones and they walk into them, they take damage as well. So it's kind of a cool area that you set up, almost like a little arena that you're gonna fight the enemy in. This also, just like double hit, applies a mark to the enemy. If you end up KOing this enemy, your move cooldowns are reset. So you have two options sort of to mark the enemy with your Unite move and with double hit when you're playing Scyther. And if you get that KO, your move cooldowns will reset. I should note that dual wing beat actually will restore HP if you hit the enemy in the center of the area. So if I hit that Venusaur right there in the center of the X, I restore HP with dual wing beat. And then the upgrade to dual wing beat is pretty cool. It increases the damage the move deals. So again, it's an assassination move. You will use this hopefully to take out an enemy Pokemon and reset your cooldown so you can get it again. Double hit also has reduced cooldown once it gets its plus effect at level 13. So that's Scyther. It feels very assassin-y, and I will say, when I first played it in the public test server, it was actually really underpowered, and I think they've buffed it a little bit because I was playing it more yesterday, and it feels a lot stronger than it did upon release. So I'm excited to see what this is going to feel like inside the game. Let's talk Scizor right now. So if you want to evolve into Scizor, instead of taking dual wing beat, you take bullet punch, and then boom, you evolve. I'm not sure of the exact stat differences yet. We'll have to see once they get fully added into the game, but I'm really interested to see how these two change stat-wise when this Pokemon does evolve right here. So let's talk about Bullet Punch and how it works. You dash, you kind of hop to a designated direction right here, and then you do some damage to the enemy. You recover HP based on the damage dealt. And like I said, this feels much more like a brawler. It's not like you're jumping as far. You're kind of sticking to the enemy and trying to do a ton of damage right here and recover a lot of HP as you continue fighting. Really up in the enemy's face, staying near them, continuing to throw punches and dealing damage, maybe using quick attack to follow them if they get away, or if you get the upgrade, you don't have quick attack anymore, you use Swords Dance to continue to follow and combo with this move. Let me show you. Also, Bullet Punch, as you can see, has this little cooldown that's sort of following it. So you have the regular cooldown, and then you have this blue ring around Bullet Punch's move icon there. If you use it again, you increase the amount of punches you do up to 5 inside your Bullet Punch dash. So it's really set up for sustained fighting. So Swords Dance has you make a little dash, and you also get increased attack for a short time, which is really cool. And you can see this gauge charging up under Scizor right there. You do this big area, or I shouldn't say area attack, it's more like a line. It's a targeted line attack after Swords Dance once you hit with 8 basic attacks, which takes a little while. However, when you're using Bullet Punch, see there's that line attack right there that could hit multiple enemies. If you're using Bullet Punch, as you can see, you jump in and the Bullet Punch actually sort of counts for that, and it charges up way faster. So as you're comboing in these fights, you use your Swords Dance, you bounce around, you hit with a Bullet Punch, and then boom, you're able to throw this big line attack. I think this combo is absolutely the way to go on this Pokemon. It's so strong. You're in there, you're brawling, your attack is increasing with Swords Dance, you're following them with the dashes on both Swords Dance and Bullet Punch, and the longer you're fighting, the more damage you are doing. The Unite move for Scizor is actually a little different. So it still dashes into the enemy. It still creates these copies of yourself around, but they seem to be a little tighter around the enemy. And now what you can do is actually push the enemy into one of the copies, dealing damage and then stunning your opponent there. I'm going to turn off move cooldowns just so I can use this a little easier right here. You hit the enemy with it, and then you get to push them in a direction. So this really lets you isolate an enemy target that you're trying to fight. And again, you get a brief stun, and if you hit them into one of your clones, you get another stun as well. It's pretty cool. The upgraded version of Bullet Punch is one of the coolest abilities. So Bullet Punch Plus gives you a shield if this move hits an opposing Pokemon. So if you thought you were already up in it and brawling a lot, once you hit level 11, you're jumping in, you can see that white shield around your Pokemon right here, and you just keep fighting, you keep getting that shield. I swear it feels like this Pokemon is so hard to take down once it gets going, because you can continue to combo this shield right here. And then Swords Dance, once it upgrades, it reduces damage you receive while dashing. So you kind of have a lot of opportunities to reduce damage, deal extra damage through Swords Dance and Bullet Punch's combo together, and then get that shield. So you're just up in it fighting. Because of that, I bet items like Weakness Policy are going to be incredible on a Pokemon like this. You're going to be in the thick of combat a lot, and you also take down Pokemon pretty fast with this combo. And something I figured would be good to point out, while you're not able to get the Unite move to give you a mark on an enemy, if you do run double hit on Scizor, you do get that mark above an enemy, so you could reset your move cooldowns once you get a KO if you wanted to go the double hit route. Again, I think Swords Dance is really, really good on this Pokemon, but that does work on Scizor. For items and emblems, I think there's still a lot to find out about this Pokemon. I bet an attack weight's going to be pretty good on both versions. I think Weakness Policy is going to be very, very good on Scizor. Razor Claw is pretty cool. I just love anything that slows an enemy after I use a move, and both of these Pokemon have some really nice setups with that. Muscle Band, also probably good. Buddy Barrier, never a bad call, especially when you're setting up an area that you want to fight in. So item-wise, I can't say exactly what's going to work best yet, but for Scizor, I really feel like something around this up here will be pretty good. You might swap something in there out for a Focus Band if you don't like Razor Claw or something like that. And then boost emblems, I bet you're going to use something like Brown Emblems with some HP or Critical Hit. Now I'm going to show you some gameplay from the public test server so you can see these Pokemon in action, and I want to hear from you in the comments, which are you more excited to play as? Scyther, the more assassin-y type Pokemon, or Scizor, the more brawly type Pokemon? I will also be streaming this Pokemon live today, so if you're seeing this video on the day it was released, I've got a stream up of me playing it as soon as it comes out. I hope to see you there. Ah, this is not having a Razor Claw. It's already hurting my soul. Oh, no, wait, I do still have my Razor Claw. I dropped my Weakness Band, right? Or my Weakness Policy. Yeah, I'll fight you, dude. I'll fight you right in your home. Come into your home and I'll beat you up. So that's a pretty big threat, by the way. If someone ever told me they were going to come into my home and beat me up, I'll tell you, I wouldn't like that one bit. I might even hate that. The idea of that's very bad. I think not having the Razor Claw is going to hurt my life. I'm playing on a different server. What's the best Pokemon to play? Right now, until they nerf it, it's Mime. Probably followed by Mew. Glaceon's up there. I think a lot of other super solid Pokemon. Let me think. What's really good right now? I think Char's pretty dang good right now. Oop, hold on. Okay, we get this. Pushing it down. What's on bottom? Can't even see it. Thing doesn't pan far enough. Registeel. Uh-oh. Actually, I'm not excited about seeing a Clefable here. Yep. Meanwhile, our Clefable is here. You have a healing move, Clefable. I want you to think about where you should be positioned with your team. Imagine you have a healing move. Would you be soloing a lane? Or, and we don't know this yet, or would you be standing with your entire team? I want you to think. I just want you to consider where you might be if you have a move that heals every single ally in an aura, where might you stay? It got fly. Look at the stuns. PTS allies. Dun 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 dun. Assemble. Ah! Shows 5 people AFK. Bum 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 bum. No one's doing anything. Dun 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 dun. That is the public test server Avengers. Public test server Avengers, your AFK Absol, the person who actually got the Pokemon they want, the Sableye, who is somehow halfway through the map and just put their phone down. These are the public test server Avengers. So with Swords Dance, you know, if you hit a bunch of basic attacks, you do this cool big attack, and then Bullet Punch just kind of does a flurry of attacks there. So you get this nice little combo between the two. It feels like they're set up really well together. No, 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 no. Oh, what kind of person on the public test server goes and stops a jungle invade? How dare you, sir? Oh, another. Got that one. You know, it does feel like maybe they buffed this a little bit. Still feels kind of weak. But they might have buffed it. They might have buffed the damage on dual wing beat. Oh, I missed. He feels better, actually. I think they might have buffed its damage a little. It's double hit. Double hit does the reset, I think. Ah, he's got the Unite. He's got the Unite move. It still feels kind of weak. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I just need more crit items on it. It still feels kind of weak. It's better, I guess, maybe, but it's just not enough damage, it feels like. Why do I feel like I'd be doing more damage if I was a Clefable? Right? That's the real question. Look, if you want to be, you could be an assassin, you know, like Scyther, or you could be a real assassin, like a Clefable. Oof! They got me. Oh, Clefable's down too. Look at the shield on this thing. How long do you think it would take to break this shield? Oh, they won't even let me try. Dang it! Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I love you very much, and I hope this helped.